So today with me is Saurabh Kale. He is our alumni, Information Developer Foundation's alumni, and today he's on the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is our format where we invite the student who recently get success in technical writing and they have achieved a milestone. So welcome Saurabh in Hall of Fame. Okay, so first let's know about yourself, like your journey, your qualifications.
Yeah, sure, Rahul. So it's almost pleasure to see you after long years. So yeah, I mean, the journey has been so much interesting so far. So I'm currently working as a senior technical writer at an organization called SKO Systems. I've been with the company for almost a year now, and in total, like I have more than 5 years of experience. But that experience combines technical writing, content writing, copywriting. So it's a mixture of everything, and it's from my last job that I've been into technical writing. So I've started my career as a content writer because initially I wanted to go into digital marketing, but content writing was the most easiest compared to digital marketing, just to get myself into that. And after coming there, I've spent a lot of time into writing, and that's when I developed my passion into writing. So I decided, okay, I should continue with the same profession, but the type of writing I used to do in the organization was not very much fascinating. So I thought of exploring more opportunities into writing, and that's when I discovered technical writing. But initially I had this myth that you need to be from a technical background, or you must have the BTech or engineering degree to get the technical writing job. So I always refrained myself away. But when I wanted to pursue that post graduation, so that's when I discovered technical writing as a specialization, and I thought I can also compensate that degree just to make myself appear for technical writing interviews. And when I actually started my program with PGDM, it was from Symbiosis. I realized that the training quality was not up to the mark, and the trainer itself were not experienced. They didn't even have any corporate experience to teach anything about writing in general. And I totally thought like I messed up, and I need to find some other resources to learn myself on my own. And on the internet back then, there were not any resources to learn. There were not a single YouTube channel on the internet. There were a few, but none of them were specifically teaching or providing any sort of training. And then in my process, I came across one of your blog of InfoDev, where you have provided some in-depth explanation about different tools, and you gave the overview of the technical writing industry. So that's when I got my interest, and I thought, okay, maybe you will be the right person, because I didn't know a single technical writer back then. So first of all, I saw somebody with such a high experience. So I thought like your help would be a game changer for me. So then I immediately contacted you, and then we had that hours of long conversation later on, and that conversation really changed my perspective, and all my myths and misunderstood about technical writing completely changed. And you also added me to some of your programs where I got the practical exposure of technical writing and how exactly it's done on practical scenarios. Also got networking of some of the proficient writers as well, who were also in a similar situation like me. And that gave me a lot of momentum and confidence to get myself started with this. And then I got my hands on MSTP, different tools and technology. So that's what initially helped me to get into technical writing, and that's how been the journey so far.
So really an inspiring journey.
Yeah.
An interesting journey as well.
Yeah.
You started as a content writer. You joined
Yeah.
PG program somewhere. Then you moved to me for better one-to-one kind of mentoring. So,
Yeah.
what is your education qualification, right? So, what make you to think about content writing or digital marketing? So, what is your education qualification?
So I've done my BBA. So even during my BBA years when I was doing post degree, I just wanted to take some experience so I can figure out exactly what I want to do after my graduation. And that's when
Mhm.
I was doing some odd job. Like I used to work in a training academy as a language trainer, and then also got some jobs into sales. So I was just trying to experiment with different careers. And when
Mhm.
I was into sales, I used to get yeah, whenever I wanted to make some sales visit, I used to hesitate, and because like the people, they were completely talking to a stranger, so they won't trust the product itself to buy that in the first meeting. So what I thought, like, I decided to write some sales letter, which I used to send them before I make my sales visit. And
Mm-hmm.
that sales letter was like a landing page, like offline landing page, you can say. And they used to read that, they got the information, and that's how we used to meet. So as soon as I introduced that sales letter process in my selling process, then I started noticing some results. So that's when I got interested into copywriting, because then I learned, okay, I can do the same thing online and try to make more money instead of just
Interesting.
doing this traditional sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then I thought, oh, let's do digital marketing, copywriting, and that's the ship started.
Perfect. So you have tried different odd job, right, to find your career, right? Initially, you might have followed your passion, money, everything, right? And then you
Yeah.
settled with a technical writing, right? So
Mhm.
comparing
Yeah, yeah.
all this job, right? How you find technical writing and why you think that technical writing is your career or it is your calling.
Yeah, so if I compare with that content writing, so what I think about content writing is, I think it's like most of the content you see is completely garbage. I mean, that's the reason people are shifting into AI. So, right, for example, if you need some help, if you go to the Google, then you will get a bunch of articles. They're written by not some expert, but some content writers who are not even expert in their subject. And that's the reason people are not able to, navigate to or access the right information they're looking for. And that's how they switch to AI to, get their helps resolved. So the role of content writer. So the thing is, like, if you're expert in a particular subject, then you can definitely write about that, and then your content writing goal will be achieved. But if you're not even an expert in the subject and you're working from some company or into some product, and your job is not adding to any value to the customer's life, because you're not even an expert and you still end up writing something just to get some money, and you're just spreading the pollution on the internet, and you're nothing else. People rather watch some videos to get that help instead of reading your article. So I thought, like, content writing is totally meaningless. Even copywriting is much better than content writing. But yeah, initially I heard about technical writing and I had some understanding of technology as well, because I tried to learn programming also in my graduation years. So initially I thought, like, technical writing is something that you have to write articles about technology. But then I actually realized that it's not that. You actually work with some documentation. And when I researched more about that, then I realized, okay, this is much more valuable, because each and every word you write in a documentation is actually consumed by some real person, and it's actually adding some value to their life. They are stuck in some problem with this with some product, and you're giving them some instruction and solutions, and that's how they're resolving their issues. So you're actually changing something into people's life with the help of your writing, and that is something which I admire most about technical writing. And that's when I decided, okay, I mean, I should utilize my writing skill in this direction to feel that satisfaction.
Perfect. Thanks for giving this perspective, right? Uh, so this is not a problem of this is a problem of digital world, right? So content writer or digital marketer, they pose like expert of every field and they start writing about everything. They start teaching everything, and they are so good in
Yeah,
marketing, like and they get into the. So this is a pros and cons of internet, right? So people are using that
yeah,
SEO concept and getting into the
exactly.
mind of
It's very easy to manipulate
right,
people.
yeah. So very easy people get manipulated and they pose as an expert of certain field, whatever trending, whatever the
Exactly.
signing object, right? And this happen in technical writing as well, right? So many people get in trap of that, right? So and very soon because they know the how to become expert, how to brand. So definitely when we are searching for a mentor or when we are searching for any a relevant article, we should be very sure like who has written this article, right? What is their background? Who is teaching us? Who is coaching us? Like many business coach, right? Many business coach approaches me. I will help you to scale your business and all. So I say, what is your credibility, right?
Mhm.
So it's finally it's
Exactly.
boiled down to their digital marketing. They are digital marketing expert now. Before they were a video editor coach, now they have become business coach. All those things, right? So fair enough. So that is a good perspective, and this is a word of caution to everyone, right? When you are choosing any course or when you are reading any article, right? You should be sure, like what you are reading, what you're consuming is from an authentic person or authentic source. Okay, perfect.
Exactly.
So when you are joining technical writing, right? So you are transitioning your basically you have transitioned your career, right? So what kind of fear you was in your mind, right? What kind of doubt you was having in your mind? Like don't like you said that you initial thought was that it must be writing about some technical thing, right? So suddenly things change, right? So don't you think that it's a very complex thing and how you adjust? So do you think that anybody who is not from technical background, they can adjust with this kind of environment or into IT industry?
Yeah, initially I definitely had that fear because when I was doing my research, I tried to find some sample of user manuals and some other form of technical documentation. And when I completely was skimming through the content, I was totally like struck and was totally confused. Like, okay, if this looks very much complex, and how these writers have such a technical information to write these things. And because I even though I had some understanding of programming languages, but I still thought like I may not be capable enough to understand this much information and translate that. But then as I got more and more deeper into that, that's when I realized, okay, you are not I mean, when you join an organization, you're not just given some instructions and then you have to write. You will be working in some environment where there will be multiple people, like subject matter experts. There will be testers and business analysts. Everybody will be working in collaboration with you. So you first, have your product training, and once you understand the product entirely, that's how you will slowly transition into writing all those things. And even if you get stuck somewhere, you will definitely have some people to solve your problems. So that is something which got me some relief. And I thought, okay, it's really not about technicality of technology, but it's more about understanding the product. Even if you're not from a technical background, but if you understand a particular application, if you understand the entire user interface and how the things are working, at least on the user front, then still you're able to write a proper and well documentation for that particular project. So that is something which was easily resolved even after your sessions and conducting some batches. I've actually got the understanding of the same subject. And the only thing which I found very difficult and challenging in technical writing was following all this instruction of style guide of that Microsoft, because it has like tons of instructions, right from how to use the bullet points to how to capitalize the words and everything. So it's very hard to remember and memorize all of these concepts. So until and unless you don't write at least like 50 to 60 documentation consistently adhering to their standards, you won't get used to that. So that is the only challenge I initially found. But again, the integration of AI and all those things made it much more simpler. Like you can just give it a prompt and it can help you, transforming your content from a generic one to MSTP guidelines. So that is how I'm managing right now. But in future, I definitely have to get more used to that and learn it like a Bible.
Perfect. So AI is impacting your life, right? So how do you think like how AI
Yeah.
is going to impact technical writers? Like how technical writer will burning question like will AI take the job of technical writer?
I would say AI will take the job of content writers, but not technical writers.
And why?
because, uh, because in technical writing, I mean, it's actually the AI will empower technical writers, because it won't replace the process of gathering the information and dealing with complex customers and tracking the information, understanding the product. So these are the things which AI cannot replace. AI can only replace the writing part, and as long as you have the information about the product and the technology and everything, then you can use AI as an assistance to write a better form of content. So as a technical writer, you don't have to, struggle in your writer's block. You can just give it a prompt and it can come up with an initial draft. So then you can build upon the draft and come up with a perfect output of the content. So there are many ways you can use that, and it makes our life much more better. So we don't really have to worry more about. You don't have to spend a lot of time hours into reviewing the process and then writing the same things again and again. So all these things will be automated, and the life will be much more better for us.
Perfect. I've asked almost all of my Hall of Fame candidates like how they feel about AI. So almost everyone have given the same answer, right?
Yeah.
So they are not scared. They are actually empowered by AI, right? Definitely, it is not going to
It's
take us our job. It is going to empower us, make our life easy. And also, like we are technical writers write about the feature which is not yet in the market, right? So AI have not learned that, right? So whatever new feature you are adding it in your product, so that
Yeah,
is the new feature, right? And
I know.
AI is not
Because yeah.
aware of that. So definitely you are with the safe domain, right? And definitely you said tech content writer, they will definitely have to gear up, right? Uh, so they definitely AI is one of their competitor. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Saurabh. So next question: what do you do after technical writing? Right, technical writing is your first love. So what is your second hobby, or in your second uh, thing? What you do apart from technical writing? And do technical writing allow you
Uh,
that much of time? Right. So basically, how is your work-life balance and balancing what you're doing?
uh, Actually, before coming to technical writing, it was, I think, much better because I used to get a lot of time prefer to do my other things. So, for example, I spend a lot of time playing chess, online chess,
Hmm.
regularly. So that is something I really need. I mean, even throughout the day, I at least need like 3 to 4 bullet games to get that refreshment. So chess is something I often do. And then
Good.
going outside, I also go for cycling, sometimes with a group of people and mostly alone in the morning. So that is something which I can manage. But again, the playing chess and also I like to watch, a lot of documentaries. I also like to, go through a lot of forums to, I spend a lot of time on Quora and Reddits to read the experience of different people. So all those enjoyment, I'm not getting time for that in my current organization because I'm managing different types of role and I'm the only writer in the organization. So
Oh,
there are like tons of responsibility on me. So not getting a time to manage that. But of course, like going forward, I'm very optimistic that I will get a chance to do everything. But currently I'm bachelor, so I don't really have to spend a lot of time into my family. But yeah, I'm still managing somehow. But after some time, I really have to, find some management techniques to manage my schedule.
perfect. So what kind of document do you write?
Yeah. So mostly I work with the manuals and user guides, user manuals. But
Hmm.
apart from that, I also work on some product documentation, which includes a lot of architectural diagrams and explaining the flow of the diagrams. Then again, we have installation guides, troubleshooting guides, and we also have API documentation. But in my organization, I don't really have to worry about that. I just write the API documentation in MS Word itself, and then we have a testers team who use that content into Postman to finally execute the content. And then again, the release notes is something which I often write with, and yeah, troubleshooting guide, online help. So
Hmm.
these are the things I'm currently working with. Yeah, even sometimes I write BRDs, FRDs, these documentations.
Okay. So what is the most challenging part of technical writing job? Initially, when you get into a role of first job as a technical writer, right? So
Uh,
what is the most challenging thing for a new technical writer?
Yes. So that is, I think, to understand the software or technology for which you have to write the documentation. Because in our daily life, we usually, use with social media and the other applications which are quite simpler to understand. But the companies, they have the applications and software which are, globally used by different people, and it has a lot of other complex processes and functionalities which are some of which we're not even familiar about. Like some applications will have facial recognition system and other different AI advancements. So that is something we're not initially familiar about. So you have to spend a lot of time learning and understanding their products thoroughly. So that is the first challenge, I would say. And next challenge is to obviously gathering the requirement about what exactly you have to write, because understanding the requirement of your managers and matching that with the end user. So keeping balance between both is something which is very challenging. Initially, you maybe have to spend extra time into incorporating feedback of the clients repetitively, but until you get as soon as you get familiar with the product and the expectation of the customers, then it becomes much more easier. So I would say understanding of the technology, and then integrating that into documentation and matching the expectation of end user. So that is the main challenge.
So initially, right, you face this kind of challenge of
Yeah,
understanding the product, right? Perfect.
yeah, yeah.
So once you get inside the technical writing field, right? So what are the different opportunities do you see for technical writers to grow?
Uh, in terms of roles, you're saying?
Yeah, in terms of roles, yes.
Yeah. So when you're working as a technical writer, it's almost like you're a developer because you closely work with the developer even your sprint sessions are, conducted with your developer teams. In your DSM, you are obviously talking with the developers. So it's almost like you're in that IT infrastructure. So you're dealing with multiple people, including project manager, product owners, scrum masters, even the business analyst, testers, and UI UX designers. So all these different people you regularly deal with, and because of that continuous conversations, you also understand more about their role and responsibilities. So in case you are looking to grow your career, and you want to switch to something else, then you won't find it very much hard, because you already understand what scrum masters do. You already understand what is the objective of your project managers and what they do. So that helps you to get that practical understanding of their role and responsibility. So when you want to make your transition into those professions, then it will be much more easier for you to you know make yourself shift into there. So those are the
Perfect.
things I see.
Yeah, so I have
Yeah.
seen, because I started as a technical writing, and I move into management side. Like I start, then I move into a Scrum Master role, then become senior Scrum Master, then I become program manager, RT, release train engineer, right? So I transition into multiple, and even I have seen many technical writers. They move into technical writing verticals. Like now, they are my colleagues. Most of them are now around director of technical writing or technical publication in most of the good organization like Oracle, Adobe, and all this kind of organization. So it is personally your choice. Like you want to be into technical writing or you want to divert. It's something like developer and testers. Like many developers, they move toward architect side, and many developers, they move toward management side, right? So it's your personal choice. Same with the technical writing. Okay. So, given a
Yeah.
chance, what message you want to give to content writers? Do you think content writers should move toward technical writing, or they will? Because many content writers think that they will not able to adjust, they will not able to do technical writing because they don't have a technical background or they don't have a BTech degree. So, what do you think? What kind of a blocker they have in their mind, right? So, do you think that they can overcome this, and if to overcome, what they should do?
Yeah. So see, if you're a content writer, it doesn't matter. As long as you're good with the writing, you can do any type of writing. Okay, yeah, maybe if you want to do creative writing, then that is something you have to spend a lot of years to read a lot of fiction novels to try make that transition. But if you're a good writer, then a technical writing isn't something that you uh will be like a rocket science for you. If a developer wants to become a technical writer, maybe first they have to become a good writer, and they can make a switch. But a content writer, they have much more easier mapping for a technical writing career. So it's not a barrier anymore. And if you're a content writer, then you obviously need to understand how AI is going to impact your job, because many people they are preferring to watch some videos or listen to some podcast instead of going through blogs and forums to get their understanding, or to get to consume the content. So video, if you really want to stick to the content writing profession, then maybe you have to switch into some digital marketer or a content manager or something like that. You can't just stay into content writing and expect some growth in the coming years, because things are going to be very tough for content writers, and it's very easy to produce a good quality content using AI compared to some human beings. So I think you really need to take your career seriously, and either you want to transition into a full-time digital marketing role, or you should become a technical writer. If you are a good writer, that transition is not going to be very much devastating for you, because the only thing you will have to learn here is how to work in a team, how to use a lot of different tools, how to follow the different style guides. Only these are the differences. That is something which you have to learn. But otherwise, if you're a good writer, then that is something which is expected from a technical writer. Like you need to write well, grammatically you have to be correct, and if you know like how to solve problems using your writing skills, then obviously like this is the best and the easiest path for you to transition into, for any technical writer, for any content writer.
Okay, so as a content writer, I can do writing for technical, right? What about income? What about money? Show me the dollar. So do you think that content writer earn most, because most of the digital writers say that you can become billionaire by doing content writer, and they show their Ferrari, they show their blogs and their income, right? So do you earn content writer? compensation is better or technical writer compensation is better?
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, even if you think from a company's perspective, then for example, if I'm an owner of a company, then why would I pay a content writer a much salary? I mean, he's not really adding much value. I would rather pay the same extra amount to some, digital marketer who is, bringing me some customers and doing some lead generation. So obviously, as a content writer, you cannot expect a growth of up to like maybe you can go as far as like 10 to 12 LPA. That's it. That is the current standard, which is currently going in the market. But above that, it's very hard for you to grow, and definitely you will have to make some transition either into a development or digital marketing or into technical writing. So technical writing, as a technical writer, you're actually working in an IT infrastructure, and the sky is not limit. Sky is the limit here, because you have the earning potential of as high as a developer. So it's not a barrier anymore. You can go. I've seen crazy number of compensation of your students, and it's very fascinating. It's very inspiring for writers. So I'm really amazed that writers can also get such a high compensation. Initially I thought only script writers who write for movies can only get that level of money, but as a technical writer, it's the most highest paying job for a non-fictional writer, I would say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Many of my, like before you, Nitya was here in the Hall of Fame, and she was aiming for 1 crore package, right? So, so uh, in IT industry, definitely you can earn what you want, right? Just prove your metal, right? Bring value on the table. Company is dying to pay you. Okay. So the problem with the content writer, which I have seen, like mainly digital marketer have uh, put in their mind, right, or a lot of contents they have created in which they are showing that they buy Ferrari or they buy luxury house in London, right, and because of the passion of writing, and they earn from their blog, right. So if they are content writer, they can write blog and they can become millionaire. So the precious age, right, from 20 to 30s, they think that they will become millionaire, and by the time that they reach 30, they realize it was just a hallucination, right? Like they were just thinking that they will become a, because 1%, 0.1%, I will say, reach to that level, right? Even that numbers are inflated and all those things, right? So that's kind of trap, right? Because now I have seen one blogger, he has become Baba, right? He has now start teaching how to activate your chakras, and now he will earn something, right? So when you are young, 20, 23, like fancy car, they will drive on a fancy car, fancy dress they will wear, right? And many content writer uh, get into trap of become billionaire by doing blogging or XYZ thing, right? So they should understand the reality. They should talk with the seniors of content writers, because I still able to figure out the higher content writers, good content writers, one word, 1 rupees per word, right? And
Exactly.
I also know technical content writers, 30 paisa, 40 paisa per word, right? And they are doing it from
Yeah.
last many years, right? How
And they
can
are
you
the
survive
majority
in
ones.
bank? Yeah,
Yeah,
what do you
and
say?
those are the majority, it's like 30 to
Yeah,
40
the
paisa.
majority of content writers, 90% are like that, right? 1 rupees is good package for them, right? So
Yeah,
how many word you will write per day, right? So that
yeah,
mathematics, I don't understand. Even many times
yeah.
I get a call, Rahul, do you teach also content writing? Do you have a student as a content writer? So I say, how much you will pay? So they say 5,000, 3,000 as a stipend, right? So I said, our chowkidar also get more than that. So, so, and really, I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling the truth, right? So they're saying
Yeah,
5,000,
yeah.
7,000, maximum 7,000 I have seen as a, and they always look for an intern. They never look for a senior. Okay. So,
Exactly.
and they will come on saying like, I want the content writer, intern content writer, Rahul de do. Who are your student? And I will pay. पहले तो free में कोशिश करेंगे. First they will try to get in a free, right? Then maximum I will give 5,000, right? So I stopped. I
Exactly.
have taught also content writing for a couple of students, but I moved them eventually into technical writing, and I stopped teaching content writing because I think that I am not doing justice with anyone. But I am not uh, uh, disowning this content writing. Right? It is again a good field to be in. Looking at uh, your perspectives and your interest, right? If you're passionate about it, definitely do it, right? Again, you can also earn better there. but given a chance,
Yeah.
in general, I'm talking, technical writers are much well paid than a content writer. And in the market, I have seen people asking content writer at the rate of 5,000 per month or 3,000 per month, which I don't like,
Yeah.
right? And which I don't believe anybody should work at that rate, because that is not 8 hours, 5,000 per month, not acceptable. Either even you are a 10th plus 10th, 12th pass out, then also it is not the amount you should work. Even you should not start at that level, right? Because you are downgrading yourself, and going forward also your salary will not grow that, right? Okay,
Mhm.
so stop that
Yeah.
first thing.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
uh, do you think that, because I have also seen many people uh, do a lot of YouTube search, do Udemy course, then they come to me, right? So anybody have to do a transition, right? And what are the steps they should follow to make a transition from non-technical background to IT technical writer? Like suppose a content writer have to move toward technical writing. Like suppose today you have to do the same thing. What you will do? Suppose just you have
yeah,
pass out from BBA, you have done content writing for 2 years. Now you have to move to what? Uh, Technical writing. So what you will do?
exactly. So the thing is like, for example, if I want to become a developer, I have like thousands of resources. I can go on Udemy, I will find like lakhs of courses. I can go on YouTube, I will find plenty of channels. But when it comes to technical writing, then you have to understand like there are not very much resources to learn. And if you want to learn on your own, something on your own, then it's gonna be difficult because again, even if you find a template for technical documentation, it's very hard to find on Google of some real companies. They will just be some templates. So if you want to do study on your own, it's going to be very difficult without the help of a mentor, because you need an experienced person who has worked in the industry, at least for 10 years, 15 years or something like that. So he understand like how things work on the ground level, how the actual content is written in technical documentation. So you definitely need coaching of somebody. You need student to get on under somebody's wings to learn all these things, because learning, it's not going to be difficult, right? Because as I previously said, like first you need understanding of the style guide, and even that is not even a barrier anymore, because if you're already a good writer, it's going to be easy for you. But before you make that transition, need to be you need that confidence. You need to know a lot of case studies of students who actually transition, who were also in the same shoes as you, and now they're a successful technical writer. So you actually need a networking of such people, and you also need to see like how the documentation is actually written, maybe on some video call or something like that. So you will get that confidence, because if you just write the document, if you just stare at the documentation, you will feel, okay, this is something not my cup of tea. But if you see somebody writing that documentation, then you will understand their mindset and what is the framework they're following to do that process and that ideation entirely. So you need all these things. And if you wanted to do something else, for example, as I said, like developer, you can learn on your own, because there are a lot of learning resources. But in technical writing, because there are not many much learning resources, you actually need some experienced technical writer to walk you through, and to help you understand, and also to give you the exposure about the industry. Because even if you have the knowledge, it's not going to be easy for you to directly get a job, because you have to work on your resume. You need to be prepared for interview. You can't just go there and give interview like a content writer to get technical writing job, because you need to know how the interview is actually taken, and what to answer and how to do that. So to do the entire process from learning to giving interviews to working on your resume, and to working on all your weaknesses, so that is something I would suggest, like somebody need to have a mentor. And I was fortunate that I got your connection, and that actually helped me to get started with that. But even if I have to do the same thing today, I will again look for somebody else who can give me that confidence, that assurance that I can also do that. And that should be an ideal path for a content writer or anybody in general to transition into technical writing.
Yes, I probably believe that you need a mentor when career transitioning. By learning from Udemy, it is very difficult to do a career transition, right? Enhancement
Yeah,
can be done from 400, 500 rupees course. You should invest in yourself, invest in a good mentor. That mentor will be with you for all your life, right? So that is always in any field you are, right? Whatever you are doing. So to always try to find a godfather or a good mentor, right? And always develop a network, right? Real network,
exactly.
right? Where you can go and talk and people can help you. So these are the few formulas, right? There's no shortcut in the life, right? So these are the few formula which can help you do transition of your career from anywhere to anywhere, right? Even uh, when you see a company, when they reach a certain level, they change their management, right? They bring new people into their board, so that new people bring new network, new perspective, so that they can take from their one level to next level. So you have to go to from point A to point B. Okay, so already who
Mhm.
have traveled that path, right? As you said, like who have traveled that path. So get touch with them and find someone who have helped many to travel that path. Okay, so this is a very simple thing you have to do. Don't hesitate. We love to buy expensive shoes, expensive watches, but normally professionals, right? Not a businessman. Businessmen invest themselves, but professionals hesitate to invest on themselves. Always keep some amount, like 5% to 10% of your income, to reinvest on yourself, right? And more you grow, more reinvestment should be done on yourself, right?
Mhm.
And always keep on doing certain courses, so that will help you long term. And that is the
Exactly.
path.
Yeah. Finding like-minded people is very important thing. So,
That's the,
and
even
technical
you
writing,
have
there are very few.
invested some money, yeah. Even you have invested in PG diploma, right, in symbiosis, right. Then also you reinvest again in me, right. So this is
Exactly.
so you have taken, right. So and whatever you have invested is barely your 1 month salary, right. Nothing like that, more than that, not even 1 month, 15
Yes.
days salary, right. So that is what
Right.
I'm saying. Everybody should do, right. I'm not comparing the money, but yes, this investment is very, when you see the long term, this investment is going to be very, very, very minimum, right? The what kind of output we are going to get. So always invest in your learning. That is the key to exist in IT industry. If you have to be in IT industry, invest, learn new things are coming. AI is coming. Learn AI. What is how AI will impact you, or learn whatever new things is coming. Machine learning. Okay. Even
Mm.
you are a technical writer, you become a technical writing. No harm in learning coding, programming. Of course, you don't have to do it, but you should know it. There's no harm in doing that, right? So this way, we should
Exactly.
reinvest on ourselves. Okay,
Yeah.
wherever you are a
And
content writer, learn new thing. Yeah, Saurabh.
yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that when I did that post graduation, so they didn't even provide me the contacts of the other students who are learning with me. So how can I build a network with those people? So that is the very ridiculous I found about them.
Mhm.
But it was when I came to InfoDev, so that's when I got an actual network of people. That's when I got at least like 2 to 3 people who I can talk to, who can become my friend. So that environment is very important to have that fellow writers who are also
Definitely.
technical writers, that connection. Yeah, yeah, entirely.
They said that it takes a village to raise a child, right? So it takes a community to build someone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
And when you are learning for the first time, learning will be much more easy, but cracking the interviews and appearing for interviews. So those things are much more going to be difficult. And that is where you will need the help of some mentorship, to who can tell you that this is something you have to work on, and this is where you're lacking it, who can actually give you customized feedback. So that is not something that you can get from any Udemy courses or any form
correct.
of other degree, something. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Saurabh. Let's in our conversation here. It was great pleasure talking with you.
Definitely.
All the luck to
Same.
you. Grow. Abundance should be in your life, and it will be with you always. Grow, rise,
Yeah.
shine. Bye bye.
Bye.